Right, so our next topic is, if it's true, I'm massively excited.
Yeah?
If it's true.
If it's true.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Well, let's dive in and weigh it up. So basically, Marvel, it's rumored that Marvel Studios are looking to start filming a World War Hulk movie next year. Now, are you familiar with this World War Hulk story in the comics?
No.
Okay.
Fill me in.
So World War Hulk is a continuation of, it's like the second part of Planet Hulk.
Right.
So in the comics, I'm just going to briefly go over it. I'm vaguely going over it. So basically in the comics, there's a group of superheroes called the Illuminati. Doctor Strange is in it. Tony Stark, Iron Man is in it. Black Panther, T'Challa's in it.
Okay.
And they basically decide on things that will protect the Earth.
Right.
And they decide that Hulk is too much of a danger for Earth.
Right.
And so they ship him off to a distant planet in a ship. They put him in a ship and they ship him off to a distant planet.
Not nice, is it?
Not at all. They ship him off to a distant planet. And this is touched on in Thor Ragnarok. Because he then gets into gladiatorial games there.
Right.
So they actually touched on it in Thor Ragnarok, but very vaguely.
Okay.
And
so that's a crossover, right?
That's
there.
it. Yeah, it's a crossover.
Okay.
So he gets involved in gladiatorial games. He then ends up like dominating the planet. Basically, he has a wife who's pregnant.
Who?
Hulk.
He has a wife.
Yeah, he ends up having a wife who in that planet who's pregnant with his kid, and then
Wait a minute.
we're going over the story.
All right, go on.
And then the ship explodes, killing his wife and unborn kid.
Right.
That's Planet Hulk. Right. So then World War Hulk is him getting back to Earth.
Yeah.
And murking every single person that was vaguely involved in sending him to that planet in the first place. It is probably the best Hulk storyline going.
Okay.
There was an animated movie of Planet Hulk a few years back, which was okay. It was all right.
Okay.
And then obviously, as I said, Thor Ragnarok was a mixture of the Ragnarok comic story and Planet Hulk, which I thought they did quite well in terms of meshing it together. I thought that was quite well done.
Right.
The question is, are they gonna do a World War Hulk movie? Now, bearing in mind that this is rumored, so it's not. None of the major trades have like Deadline, Hollywood Reporter. None of them have definitively said this is what's happening.
Right.
So I'm gonna read from Screen Rant, but even Screen Rant, who are very reliable, have not said. But this is what they say.
Go on.
Marvel Studios are rumored to have an upcoming World War Hulk standalone movie in active development, which is slated to begin filming in 2022.
Right.
A Marvel Cinematic Universe adaptation of World War Hulk comics storyline is rumored to begin production in 2022. The character of the Hulk has proven to be an MCU staple since he was introduced in 2008's The Incredible Hulk, which saw mild-mannered Dr. Bruce Banner portrayed by Edward Norton. He then became a founding member of the titular superhero team in 2012's The Avengers, with both Banner and Hulk via performance capture recast with Mark Ruffalo, who I think is brilliant, who has played the role ever since. While Ruffalo's portrayal of the character has been warmly received by fans, he has yet to receive the Hulk solo movie that is seemingly commonplace for most of his fellow Avengers. The actor has gone on record as saying that while there has been talks about a solo feature, the major barrier has been a legal battle between Marvel Studios and Universal Pictures. We'll get into that why.
Yeah.
But Universal, who produced the 2008 film as a co-production with Marvel, has had ownership of the production rights for standalone Hulk films, while Marvel owning both the right to both distribute and use of the character in other franchises. It seems, however, that this may be about to change. I'm reading all of this because it's very pertinent.
Yeah.
According to inside sources from the GWW, a new Hulk solo film, tentatively titled World War Hulk, is in active development at Marvel Studios and slated to begin production in late 2022. This would follow the Disney Plus series She-Hulk, starring Tatiana Maslany, which is expected to release in 2022 and will feature Ruffalo's Bruce in a supporting role. The site also reports that the reason for this development is the film rights to the Hulk reverting from Universal back to Marvel/Disney following a rumor from 2020. Let me see if the prospect of adapting World War Hulk will be of interest to many comic book fans. The story is a sequel to Greg Park's comic Planet Hulk, which saw the character sent away from Earth by the group of Marvel heroes known as the Illuminati, and dominating the planet Sakaar through participating in gladiatorial-style combat. Some of this may sound familiar to MCU fans, as several elements of the story was incorporated into Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok. World War Hulk, also written by Pack, follows on from this, with the Hulk returning to Earth to take his vengeance on the Illuminati, comprising of heroes such as Iron Man and Doctor Strange, after the shuttle they used to exile him explodes, destroying the new life he had made for himself. I don't think the rest needs to be read.
Okay.
The reason I read all of that is because if this rumor, Screen Rant was very careful to say that it was a rumor.
Yeah. No definitions.
Yeah. If this rumor is true, this is massive news. Massive news.
Yeah?
Yeah, massive news. Because as I said to you, it's probably Planet Hulk and World War Hulk are probably the best Hulk storylines of
the Hulk series.
Of the comic series. If not one of the best. And they touched on Planet Hulk, as I said, in Thor Ragnarok with the gladiatorial games and how he got there in the first place, right? Do I think this rumor is true? John Campion touched on this, and I'd like to touch on it and say why it could be true. I feel it could be true because, generally speaking, since the first Avengers film, they've done the Hulk dirty.
Yeah.
They've done the Hulk dirty.
Why?
Right. So this is
why.
head.
Yeah,
this
comic book head. See,
right.
I'm learning.
Right.
I'm getting up to speed with you lot as well.
The first Avengers film, we saw Hulk kicking ass with one punch.
Yeah,
destroying that spaceship.
Yeah.
That's Hulk. Yeah. In the second one, how is he getting knocked out by Iron Man's suit, the Hulkbuster? He's getting knocked out. The Hulk doesn't get knocked out by the Hulkbuster suit. That's just not. And I understand that they're adapting it from the comics, but still, you need to hold some things true. And Hulk in the comics, and as they showed him in the Avengers, is the nuclear threat. That was Loki's plan in the first Avengers, to put him on the ship with the others. And because he was saying, let the monster loose. That was his plan.
Okay.
So how can you then go from there to then making him the guy who gets Hulk gets knocked out by Hulkbuster, the Iron Man armor. And then on top of that, what really fried a lot of people, including myself, because I'm a massive Hulk fan, is Infinity War. They had, and I understand why they did it, but they should have found another way to do it. They had, at the beginning of that film, Thanos wiped the floor with the Hulk. Do you remember that fight?
Yeah.
He wiped the floor with the Hulk. That wasn't even competitive.
Yeah.
And like I said, I understand why they did it, because the Hulk is the strongest guy in that team.
Yeah.
And they wanted to show how powerful Thanos was from the beginning.
Right.
But they could have found a different way to do that. Because if they were sort of bringing in a lot of the comic elements into it, Thanos in the comics has actually said he actively avoids fighting the Hulk.
Okay.
That's how much of a problem the Hulk is for him.
Okay.
He only fights the Hulk if he absolutely must.
Right.
Otherwise he avoids it.
Yeah.
So then you've gone from that in the comics to him just wiping him out like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then you've got this in the end game, this Professor Hulk thing, which he was never a popular character.
No.
Right, in the comics, he was never a popular character because he didn't cause murkage like the Hulk.
The Hulk, yeah.
He was never a popular character. So there's that. I would also say, John Campion didn't say this, but this is my thoughts. I think they missed a trick in Endgame. And I spoke about this to Damien when we watched Endgame the first time. They missed a trick. They could have brought in World War Hulk then and have him fight Thanos in a rematch.
Right.
And I'll tell you how. So as I explained, and as we've read on that, World War Hulk is the premise is that he is so angry, because remember, the angrier he gets, the more powerful he gets.
Yeah.
He is so angry that his wife and kid have died through this explosion, that he literally, in the comics, when he steps on the floor, he causes earthquakes.
Yeah.
That's how powerful he is in World War Hulk.
Okay.
That Hulk against Thanos would have been a fight to see.
Yeah.
Now, when he found, so you remember he had a relationship with Black Widow, Natasha.
Yeah.
Remember when he found out that she died?
Yeah.
He didn't for the Soul Stone, right? And he got mad and he threw the bench. But that was it. That was the perfect timing to bring in World War Hulk.
Okay.
And then have him fight Thanos.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That was the perfect timing. So, and I know a lot of people have complained that they've done the Hulk dirty, and that's probably why the rumors could be true. I'm starting to believe it's true. I'm not 100%, but I'm starting to believe it's true. I don't understand though how they're gonna adapt it from the Disney Plus She-Hulk series.
Right.
That's the only thing that I'm a bit confused on, because we don't know what's gonna go on in that series anyway. We do know that Ruffalo's gonna appear in it, so again, it's a possibility. But again, as most stories from the comics, they're adapted into the MCU, so they're never the same as the comics. For instance, Winter Soldier was not the same in the comics as it is in the films.
Yeah, I heard that.
Civil War was not the same in the comics as it was in the film.
Yep.
There was a lot of elements of the Infinity Saga that is not the same in the comics, you know. So it's an adaptation, which I understand, because certain things work on page and don't work on film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For instance, Thanos's in the film, obviously Thanos's motivation was destroying half of life to allow the other half to thrive. His motivation in the comics is stupid. He wants to impress Lady Death. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked on screen. Exactly. So I can understand some adaptations. But why they did the Hulk dirty in these films, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then also, they touch on the reason why they haven't done any solo Hulk films. And that is a complicated issue, like very similar to the Sony Disney thing. So from what I understand of it, Marvel, Disney have the rights to make Hulk film, the rights to use Hulk in an ensemble film like the Avengers and stuff like that. But they don't have the rights to make a solo film
exclusively,
unless you're right, unless Universal distribute it.
Right.
So then Universal will make most of the money. Marvel, Disney are not going to have that.
No.
So, yeah, that is the reason why there's not been any solo Hulk film since 2008.
Okay.
Now, there's a rumor, like that thing said, that report said, there's a rumor going around that in 2020, the rights reverted back to Marvel. But we don't know that. There was no press release or anything like that saying that took place.
That's another rumor.
That's another rumor.
Okay.
So we're dealing with a lot of rumor and conjecture.
Yeah.
But if I've got a feeling this might be true.
Well, someone's gonna hammer at something. You know why? Because it's money.
Yeah.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And they can't just.
But then again, if they do World War Hulk, it's going to be an ensemble film. It's not going to be a solo film because it needs a lot of the other Avengers
for it to work.
For it to work, right? Okay. So again, they're going to get away with that in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think with the current state of the MCU that they could do one?
Almost definitely.
I'm going to say because John Campea thinks no, but I'm going to disagree with him.
I'm going to disagree.
I'm going to disagree with him because the way I'm seeing it is that they're looking at what happened in Endgame and Infinity War and thinking we don't need another catastrophe like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we need to get rid of the Hulk. And that could be a reason why they send him away. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's I mean, listen, Kevin Feige's the genius of the MCU.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, man. You know
so
what I
if
mean?
it's the right time and it's gonna happen, it will happen.
It will happen. It will happen. And if it's confirmed, I know he will make it so that it's on point.
You see, the last Hulk film I watched, what was that one when he was just jumping all over the place?
Was that the Edward Norton one that we were talking about?
I think so.
When he had to fight Abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 2008
Was that the one where he's
one.
jumping from? Is that the 2008 one? I saw.
Did he fight another one like him in the end? In that one?
You know what? I don't remember. I remember him throwing some tanks and just.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with the MCU.
No, I know, but
so
I'm just saying
that was done by the guy who did.
What did he do?
Was it Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Okay.
I think. Ang Lee.
Ang Lee. I somewhat switched off.
I didn't like that film.
That ruined it.
I didn't like that film.
I just remember him jumping all over the place. And I was just like...
I didn't like that film.
No.
I have to say, I did like Edward Norton's edition of it, The Incredible Hulk, which is an MCU film.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that it's an MCU film. But I did like his edition of it, but obviously he had some differences with the script writers and stuff, so he had to go, obviously. And then they brought in Mark Ruffalo, who I rate a lot, and he's he took it and ran with it. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna do a World War Hulk? Obviously, you're not a comic book head, but hearing all of this, what do you think?
I think they're definitely gonna capitalize on the Marvel being so big right now. They're just hammering it. They're just hammering it to death.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if I don't know, I'm just thinking business.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
The timing is right.
Yeah.
The timing is right.
Yeah.
That needs to link up.
I think
they need to bring him in. The Thor, it all, it's all got a interlink at some point.
I thought that them bringing in Planet Hulk into Thor Ragnarok, it worked, but it kind of killed all us lot that know about Planet Hulk. It kind of killed it a little bit for us, because then we realized, okay, we're not going to see a Planet Hulk film then. Do you see what I'm saying? So and like I said, they've done Hulk dirty, and they've missed a trick in Endgame, I believe, with that Black Widow death. That could have been when World War Hulk comes out, and just murks everyone. Do you know what I mean? And really goes for Thanos, and now there'd been a fight to see. You know.
It should have been a bit more. This ragdoll thing. Like you said, I know what you're trying to do, but nobody flings the Hulk. I don't care. No one flings the Hulk like a ragdoll.
Just like that, you know what I mean?
Like, it just doesn't happen. No.
I mean, exactly like you said, we know what they were trying to do, but they could have found another way to do it. They could have found another way to do it. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, man. You know, what do you think about? Do you know about the World War Hulk story from the comics? And what do you think about them adapting it into the MCU? Do you think the rumors are true? Give us a reason why you think it's true or why you think it's not true. Drop us some comments down below and let us know.